All right, everybody, so welcome back. So the country's postal workers have rejected the latest increase offered to them by their employer, TTPost. So joining us in studio this morning, we do have General Manager of Human Resources at TTPost, Ms. Crystal Joseph, and we also have Senior Human Resource Officer of Industrial Relations, Mr. Saud Mohammed. Thank you very, very much for coming this morning.
Good morning, Marlon. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having us this morning and allowing us the opportunity to come and give you an update on all matters related to salary negotiations at TTPost and to address the misinformation and the half-truths that is being purported out there.
All right, so that's very good, Ms. Joseph, because last week we did have the Postal Workers Union here, and it's not the first time because we have been really monitoring the situation at TTPost. So they have been asking for 18.6% and they have been calling for equality and fairness. Of course, the negotiations have been ongoing. There has been a level of protest, but I think that they have they also feel that if nothing is done soon at TTPost, that there is going to be an intensification in action from them.
Okay. And Marlon, I would address it in this way.
Yes.
So I'll bring you up to speed in terms of what's been happening.
Mm-hmm.
On the 2nd of December, we commenced negotiations with the union. At that meeting, we walked away with certain key points. The union promised and committed to provide and submit their proposals and counter-proposals for the period. They committed together with us certain timelines and deadlines to submit those proposals and to meet again at the table in January 2025. And TTPost also was able to put an offer of 4%, which is consistent with what other public sector is getting, yes? Since then, TTPost has been experiencing delay tactics, stalling tactics from the union, in that they have not yet submitted their proposals. In fact, they have said they will now submit their proposals on the 17th of February, which is mind-boggling for us because they stood up at that first meeting and said they wish that management not make this process a drawn-out one. The union also came on national television and said they agitated to commence negotiations. So it seems as though they are unprepared right now. They were a no-show at the first meeting that they promised to attend on the 16th of January, and they actually made their rejection via email, again indicating to us that they have no intention to operate in good faith. So they are the ones stalling, Marlon. They are the ones that are unprepared.
But you know, I'm just wondering, why would they do that? Because at the end of the day is to get betterment for the workers. So why are they stalling the process, Mr. Mohammed?
Well, Marlon, good morning.
Morning.
Again. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Marlon, Section 40 of the Industrial Relations Act provides that employers, both employers and unions, negotiate in good faith for the purpose of collective bargaining. In our view, when we met on December 2nd, 2024 with the Postal Workers Union, we would have set out certain dates and expectations and deliverables that we would have expected. In particular, when we placed the offer of the 4% on the table, you know, we anticipated that sometime before, or at least at the next meeting, which was in January 16, that the union would have given us some feedback. It came to our attention that sometime in December, they had 3 meetings throughout Trinidad and Tobago with their membership. And we were looking forward to them attending the meeting. We were most disappointed. In our view, that was an act of bad faith, right? When the meeting was about to start, maybe 10 minutes after the meeting, instead of coming to the table and informing us of their position, they chose to send an electronic mail, which we took to mean disrespect for the process of good industrial relations principles and practices. And we were taken aback by that. And it was most disappointing because, you know, we thought that we could have been at a better position at this point in time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we are.
So what's the state of affairs right now?
So, as I said before, they were a no-show at the meeting that we agreed on the 16th of January. So, again, operating in bad faith. They have not submitted the counter-proposals and proposals as promised. They have said they would submit it on the 17th of February, and they have rejected the offer. The union would have returned to the table last Friday, January the 24th, and we were able to start discussions around non-cost items, which we were truly grateful for, because, Marlon, we really want to get past this process. We only want what's best for the employees. That's all.
Yeah. The union has also accused TTPost of wasting taxpayers' funds because, and I see you smiling, so you know what I'm speaking about, a particular venue that is being rented by TTPost, and according to the union, thousands and thousands of dollars are being spent every time these talks are taking place at this private facility. And they're saying, well, these thousands and thousands of dollars that you all are spending should be used to pay the workers instead.
Yes, we are aware of that, Marlon, and we are not sure where the union is getting this information that we are spending all this money on this venue. But to address that, I would say that we are led by a distinguished chairman, Dr. Michael Seals, and board and by extension managing director, who expects us to raise the bar in terms of how we treat with employee matters, right? There was a budget that was put in place to have these meetings. In no way is this budget impact on salary negotiation or the wages for these employees. So it's a non-issue for us.
I want to speak a little bit about this job evaluation exercise that the union continues to speak about. And if I'm correct, I believe at that time, this is where this 18.6% was discussed. Right? So they continue to harp on this job evaluation exercise and saying, well, here's what. It was agreed that at that time, 18.6% would have been given to us, and they are maintaining their position there.
Well, Marlon, I'm so glad that you used the word, they keep harping on it. Yes, they truly keep harping on it. They sound like a broken record right now, actually. They say there was an agreement. Where is the agreement, Marlon? To be honest, there is none. There was never an agreement. There was a job evaluation exercise, yes, that was commissioned in 2010. The consultants themselves was pretty clear in terms of what would come out of a job evaluation exercise. And I ask you to read, if you would read the last paragraph in the page, it's behind the page where it says, it must be stated that the consultants can only provide guidance as to what the market supports for compensation for suitable comparators. Any changes to actual salary or benefits would be the result of the outcome of collective bargaining. It's clear. We have no idea why the union keeps saying there was an agreement and there was more to be given.
Yeah.
And Marlon, if I may add, let's say there was an agreement.
Yes.
And two parties have this agreement that we are not aware of, but hypothetically, there's agreement. 14 years later, going on 15 years later, one party decides, you know what, I'm not going to keep up my end of this agreement. Again, the provisions of the law, in accordance with the provisions of the Industrial Relations Act, to be specific, it caters for situations like this, where redress can be sought. Why, after 14 years, if this matter is such a burning issue with the union, why no legal action has been taken? Because we have no record of anything.
That is so correct, Marlon.
Right? You know, it's very strange.
If I may interject, the union never hesitates to take TTPost to court on any matter. Why wait 10 years, 10 plus years to treat with this? Isn't that mind-boggling to you? Yes, so we feel as the union doesn't have a leg to stand on, and that's why they haven't gone to seek any redress on the matter. We want to give employees this 4%. Employees are asking for it. Employees want the 4%. We don't understand why the pushback.
All right. But I want to touch on that point that you have made, and you made it twice in a few seconds, right? The employees want the 4%. Via which means would that information would have come to TTPost? What makes you feel that they want the 4%?
Well, the word on the ground, you know, we are very aware of what's been happening, you know. There have been rumors about employees not satisfied with the union's performance. There have been rumors of employees wanting to picket fence at the union's headquarters. There have been rumors about they calling for the executive of the union's resignation. All those rumors we are aware of. So yes, employees do come to us with this information. However, we redirect them to the union and the executives because we cannot negotiate directly with employees. It is not our business. So in accordance with the IRA, we ensure that we only provide updates, but we encourage employees to liaise with their union executive to get the traction that they want.
Yeah. What about these claims by the union? Because I know that the union is not only clamoring for this increase alone. They have spoken about other terms and conditions. They have spoken about the physical condition at TTPost. They have spoken about a lack of resources. They have spoken about a lack of security in the past. Respond to those claims for me. That's one. And has TTPost taken, if so, judging from what the union is saying, if it is true, what sort of measures has TTPost initiated to better the working conditions for workers?
Well, Marlon, we have embarked on an initiative called the HR Roadshow. So we are going out there, meeting with staff to talk about the operational inefficiencies. So, like I said, we are aware of certain needs that the employees have. We bring that information back to our managing director, Mr. George Alexis, who is well in tune with what's going on with the organization. We try to get a meeting with our direct ministry. We share our concerns with the direct ministry. They are aware of it. They have provided the support so far to ensure that employees get what they need.
Yeah. You spoke about operational inefficiencies. Could you break down that a little bit for us?
Things like the infrastructure, the IT infrastructure, staff not having the details on their leave entitlements because we don't have a HRIS system, things like that.
Yeah. I guess the next question is, well, how do we settle what is happening here between the union and TTPost? Because the union accuses you, TTPost, of not negotiating in good faith, and we hear why am I saying only TSTT? It's not TSTT, it's TTPost, and TTPost is accusing the union of the same sort of action. So how do we move forward?
Well, the proof is in the pudding. We have done all that we can. We have extended grace. We are the ones that have shown up to meetings. They have not. We are the ones that meet at the table to negotiate. They prefer to negotiate in the media and via email and whatnot. To me, Marlon, you know, that speaks for itself. We are the ones that have been trying to negotiate in good faith.
Yeah.
And Marlon, if I may add, the TTPost management, we are committed to resolving this matter in the best interest of our employees. And we will do so as reasonably practical as we can. And also, we need to keep in mind that because we are a state corporation, we are bound within the parameters of the Chief Personnel Officer, upon whose advice we rely on to settle matters such as terms and conditions of employment, which we are doing right now. And to echo Crystal's sentiments, we believe the union is not acting in good faith, because something that they did on January 2nd also, which I didn't mention, was that while initially in December, when we met, they agreed to submit their counter proposals before the first week in January, before the end of the first week. And then via email on January 16th, they're telling us, well, you're going to get it on February 17th. And we, again, it was like, it's like what, you know, we were shocked. We were taken aback because it's like the goalpost literally keeps moving and moving. And while time going on, our employees are becoming a little more anxious because I am the person that actually is on the ground, you can say, literally on the ground. And every day, a handful of employees come to my office to ask the same question, what's going on with negotiations, what's going on, and at all times, we direct them to the union.
Yeah. Speak a little bit about that for me, about what the employees have been saying. You spoke about a bit of anxiety among them. Do they feel that the union is not representing them the way in that the union should be?
Marlon, to be honest, I gather that feeling, right? Because there are persons who are saying that apparently there were 3 meetings held in December, and persons are coming to us, the HR department, to tell us that 1, they were not aware of the meeting, 2, the meetings were held at some very strange locations, and the meeting started at 4 p.m. Most of us finished our duties at Mail Center at 4 o'clock. It was impossible for some people to go there, and furthermore, what was disturbing to them is that they're telling us that they were never informed of the purpose of the meeting. The invitation that came to our attention, we walked with a copy of it. The invitation merely says, come and let's discuss the salary negotiation. It never said, this is for the purpose of voting. And what sentiment was said to me up to last week was that when the union is having their elections for the elected members, they make sure and find you wherever you are. They will send that ballot paper, whether you're in the car park, you're in the cafeteria, you're in the washroom, they will get it to you. And they found it passing strange that something so important like this, they were not given the opportunity to actually vote in a matter that affected them. So my job is to not only advise the management, but also advise our employees. And my advice to them was to engage your union, because the union represents your interests. We cannot negotiate directly with the employees.
Yeah.
So we have directed them, and that has been our consistent approach in treating with us.
You know, I think some of our viewers this morning would be concerned about service, continuing service to them, and the delivery of mail and packages and so on. What about contingency measures? Has TTPost thought about that as yet?
Yes, well, so we have a negotiation team actually, so we are prepared, we have contingencies in place, our customers are a priority for us, so they ought not to fear about anything. Delivering high quality service is #1 priority, so everything should run smoothly. Contingencies are in place.
Yeah. Just incidentally, this, and you said, Mr. Mohammed said earlier, that the CPO has a role to play in connection with this matter. When you hear a number such as 18.6%, is this reasonable at all?
In our view, no. We think that the union is setting up our employees, their members, for disappointment. What the union is not communicating or probably not understanding is that they, especially with talks about the SRC and what was decided for government officials, the SRC determines the salaries of government officials. The government determines the salary for us.
Yeah.
2 different things. They are comparing apples with oranges.
Yeah, Mr. Mohammed.
And Marlon, in collective bargaining, when the Act speaks of bargaining in good faith, we also have to be real, and we have to examine the circumstances that exist within the state. And if we look back at some major institutions or bodies of persons that accepted the 4%, we're talking about our protective services, police officers, fire services, prisons, our defense force, teachers, and many other persons have also accepted the 4%. And in my experience within the public sector, whatever those unions get within the state, it does not differ from any other state corporation. So we were hoping that we will get some sort of reasonableness from the union, but they are insisting on the 18.6, which in our view isn't realistic at this point.
I think they are also forgetting that after they accept this 4%, there's a waiting 5% for them as promised by the government. You know, and again, are they really considering our employees, their members? Are they putting them first? It doesn't seem that way to us, Marlon.
Yeah. I just have about a minute again. Final comments?
We are asking that the union really puts the interests of the employees first. We are asking that they keep their commitments in submitting their proposals and counter-proposals, and they continue to return to the table to negotiate in good faith.
Mr. Mohammed?
Marlon, what message I would like to get out there to our employees and to the Trinidad and Tobago is that your employees are your people, and sometimes you have to listen to your people, and we are prepared to listen to our people and so guide them accordingly within the parameters of the law.
Yeah. Crystal Joseph, Saud Mohammed, thank you very much for coming this morning. We do appreciate it.
Thank you
Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Marlon.
We are going to a very short break, but first we have this message for you from Omega XL.